War isn't always declared with thunder. Sometimes it arrives in silence, in the darkness, with no warning, no headlines, until the fireball lights the sky. On June 22, 2025, the world woke to the news. The United States had launched a massive overnight strike against Iranian nuclear facilities. It wasn't just bombs. It was a masterpiece of stealth and deception. But this isn't new. This is ancient. Because the fall of empires often begins with what they think no one will see. Let's rewind 2,200 years. At the Battle of Cannae in 216 BCE, the Carthaginian general Hannibal faced a much larger Roman army. He didn't outmuscle them, he outsmarted them. He baited the Romans into attacking the center of his line, then enveloped them in a deadly pincer movement. It was one of the greatest military deceptions in history, and it nearly broke the Roman Republic. Even mighty empires can be undone by a trick they didn't see coming. Fast forward to 1066. The Norman invader William the Conqueror used feigned retreat to draw the Anglo-Saxon army from their high ground. When the English chased them, the Normans turned and destroyed them. In Napoleon's era, deception became science. Camouflage troop movements, false attacks, misinformation. He said it plainly. In war, the truth is so precious that it must be surrounded by a bodyguard of lies. In the 20th century, deception scaled. Before D-Day in 1944, the Allies created a fake army with inflatable tanks, radio chatter, and General Patton himself as decoy commander. It convinced Hitler the invasion would come at Calais, not Normandy. Tens of thousands of lives were saved because the enemy looked in the wrong direction. Now, in 2025, history rhymes again. Operation Midnight Hammer, as insiders call it, was the largest stealth mission since the Gulf War. 3 B-2 Spirit bombers lifted off from Missouri, invisible to radar. Submarines in the Arabian Sea launched Tomahawk missiles. Fighter jets staged a decoy exercise over the Mediterranean to draw attention away. Meanwhile, 30,000-pound bunker-buster bombs struck Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan, deep underground nuclear sites. No warning, no leaks, no real-time footage, just damage. And then silence. A war that wasn't declared, but was still very real. Why stealth? Because in the age of empires, perception is everything. A public, messy war sparks global outrage, protests, and uncertainty. A quiet, clinical strike? It feels surgical, even humane. But don't be fooled. Stealth isn't just about military efficiency. It's about political insulation. It hides the true cost. History tells us this. When empires fight in secret, they fight more often. When leaders can act without public scrutiny, wars begin before the people even know they've started. Deception wins battles. But over time, it corrodes trust, at home and abroad, and eventually, it backfires. Ask the Soviets in Afghanistan. Ask the British in Suez. Ask any empire that thought secrecy could substitute for strategy. The ancient world knew this well. As Sun Tzu said over 2,500 years ago, all warfare is based on deception. That hasn't changed. But the consequences have grown. As one strike fades from the headlines, the question remains, what happens when a democracy learns to fight like an empire? Comment. Question prompt. Was the U.S. strike on Iran a necessary act of defense or a dangerous step toward unchecked imperial warfare? What does history tell us about how stealth shapes, not just war, but the fall of empires? Share your thoughts. Let's talk. Subscribe to Fault Lines, the fall of empires. Because history isn't behind us, it's in front of us, waiting to be repeated.